Well, hello everyone. We're trying to do some last minute figuring before we go out of town on vacation and make sure my fellas have some work to do. We've been presented an opportunity to do a water plant. It's not a treatment plant, it's just city water. Um, so I've been looking at the spec, and anything below 5 foot has to be in rigid. Anything above has to be or can be in EMT. It could be in rigid also, but who wants to run all that rigid? Any terminations to motors can be LFMC, liquid tight flexible metallic conduit. Um, but when you're doing this, you need to make sure that all of your conduit sizing per the wire spec that they're giving you is accurate. Because I'm going to show you here in a minute through a green screen that another uh, has spec'd. If you look here, you got to check your specs. You got 3 number 3s and 1 number 6 and a 3/4 conduit from 110 amp breaker. Even the newest guys, I hope, can see that that is incorrect. I don't know if it was just an oversight or boilerplate talk and they forgot to change that part, but as the electrical contractor, you have to be able to pick up on those things or it could cost you a lot of money. Sometimes it costs the engineer a lot of money. Some contractors will, take it to an extreme and do a change order just because they caught that. I'm not really too worried about it. I'm going to make a note of it to our GC and let them know. But we have this kind of setup here. The numbers correlate to what run it is. This is the for the VFDs that we'll be connecting, and up here is a floor layout of the conduit runs. This is the existing control panel. This will be a new control panel. We're going to abandon the underground lines to these motors, to these big pumps, and install new above ground circuitry to the VFDs and then back out to the motors. The VFDs will then control all these pumps and motors. And then we have a few little periphery that we've got to account for, switches and this and that. But I want to show you how things can, the conduit size will switch up even though the wire size is the same. So I use Ugly's Book app, and it will tell you what size conduit. It makes it easy. It's well worth the 14 bucks or whatever it is per year. It stays updated, and it's done us right for quite a while. It's going to be in another video just right behind this one, but pay attention because sometimes the conduit size will change based on the type of conduit, from rigid to EMT to flexible, liquid tight, metallic liquid tight, whatever you want to call it. But anyway, hope it helps. Have a good day. Here's the video. Good afternoon, good morning, good night, hello. We are going to look at my Uglies 2020 app. Totally worth it in my opinion. We have bookmarked our conduit field calculator on one particular size. I am looking for the fitting for rigid. Sets of wire will be 2. The insulation type of this particular circuit, we're doing a water plant. It's XHHW2. Conductor size will be number 3. It'll be 3 of them because it's a 3-phase circuit. They have spec'd a number 6 ground of the same type. And I'm going to pop that in here and look to see what size conduit they recommend. 1 inch with the rigid. 1 inch with rigid. So anything below 5 feet has to be rigid. We can run EMT up high. So let's make sure that's going to fit our EMT. So we come back, we go to EMT, We've got two sets of wires because we got the hots as one set and the ground as another. We're going to select the same type and size and number of conductors. And this will be our ground, and size at 6, 1, and see, that gives you 1.25 inch conduit. It's odd to me. I would think that rigid would be smaller for some reason, or harder to deal with. But all right, and so we are going to be using liquid tight flexible metal conduit for our terminations. Let's see what they recommend here in the old Uglies book for the same size application. And doing our ground one more time, number 6, 1. That's also a 1 inch conduit. All right. Well, I'm going to record those down and see if it's going to be any better to. I don't think it'll be any better to run everything 1.25 inches because you can't hardly bend 1.25 inches with our biggest hand bender, so you'd have to get into mechanical benders and all that. So anyway, I'm going to look at it. Have a good day.